Hello everyone, this is Lee from CustomSims. Today what I want to show you is a BE55 cockpit. It's not going to be in our regular product line. This one basically simulated a replicated airplane of one of my clients. He wants to practice, so basically I took his BE55, I turned it into a simulator. I tried to get it as close as possible to the real thing. There is a lot of new feature here, a lot of cool feature here, and some of the feature here are already implanted in our production line to become as standard. Let's take it to a test flight and let's go over every new and updated feature there is. First of all, when I am replicating an airplane, I'm trying to get it as close as possible to the real to get it as close as possible to the environment, to the real environment of the airplane, in terms of the avionics location, order of the gauges, the startup panel, landing gear, the order of the avionics and radios. So the client, when the client sits down in the simulator, he feels he's sitting down in his own airplane. He don't need to adjust himself to a real deal or a simulator. Right here on the left side, we have the start panel. Basically, I work with the clients to get it as close as possible to the real thing in terms of the switch name, the switch order, the left and right mag, the rocker switches, and everything that's related to that. The operation of that is the same as the startup sequence. Sorry, is the same as he's gonna do in his own airplane. Everything is programmed the same as in. So we can simulate the startup panel from cold and dark. Right in front of me is the G500 unit. I ended up redevelop the board and make a completely new board, and it's a dedicated unit. Right now it can be sold separately. Everything is backlighted as you see. These two monitors are touchscreen. It's not standard, but you can request that. One of the main thing, and I'm going to offer it as a standard, it's the yoke. The yoke is a force feedback yoke by Iris Dynamic. Also, the yoke handle itself is a beach replicated made from steel. There is the autopilot the autopilot disengage, sorry. There is the mic. This one will simulate you a stormy weather, windy weather, tailwind, headwind. You're gonna feel the yoke real hard or real light, basically very close to the real thing. Two other feature that's really cool on that yoke, they have the vertical speed follow and there is the autopilot follow. Basically, if I'm doing heading lock on the autopilot, the yoke move based on the heading and basically in and out based on the vertical speed. We're going to take it to a short flight in a couple minutes, and then you're going to see, and I'm going to demonstrate that, and then you're going to see it. The flaps handle stay the same. One of the minor things that's been changed on the landing gear is the actual switch. The switch is much more heavier to pull out and down and to gear up, gear down. Several of my clients mentioned me that it needs to be a little bit stiffer, so that's what I did. Here we have the throttles. On the BE55 is PTM instead of TPM. So, but you can switch those to have a TPM and simulate the BE58 if you want, as usual. Right here, another thing that's going to start being offered in our regular Twin and Cessna is this center console. We have the rotor trim, the trim wheel here. We have the aileron trim. We have the fuel selector. This fuel selector is the BE55 fuel selector. You can, if you order a Cessna, it's going to be like a Cessna. If you're ordering any other airplane or if you're requesting any other, basically just send me a picture, I'm turning it into a sketch, and this is the final result. This small panel right here, it's the my phone, iPad, and tablet. I realize a lot of people wants to simulate to get very close to the airplane environment, and they want to use their own headphones, so they can plug it here. And also, a lot of people start using ForFlight or Garmin Link. So instead of connected cable and extension, it's it's already here. You just take in the wire, plug it in, and when you're done, you can put the wires back in. As you can see, the order of the avionics is not the regular order. This is the order that my clients have in his own airplane. Audio panel, 530, autopilot, COM2, NAV2, and a transponder. Usually it's a little bit different. One of the things for that unit, there is two main features and two new updated on this avionics that we start doing it as a standard in all of our cockpit. One main thing you notice that is the backlight. All of our panel, all of our panels becoming backlighted as a standard. Everything is having the orange, so you can basically simulate the nighttime flying in dark room instead of using a little flashlight. One other light that's been changed is the green indication lights. It's much more brighter, much more easy to read. Also, when you are switching between them, the backlighted here is turned off and vice versa. One other major update that's been done here, and you basically don't see it, every unit here can be worked in a chain with other unit or as a dedicated USB unit. That means the autopilot, if you're purchasing just the audio panel, you plug it into the computer and you make it work as a regular dedicated audio panel. But if later on you're buying the GPS or you're buying the autopilot panel's connected to the autopilot, and then the autopilot's connected to the computer. They're already programmed and you can change the order. I implement that feature for the home builder, people that wants to build their own simulator. So it's basically really easy for them. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do a startup, and I'm going to do a short takeoff, and I'm going to turn on the autopilot. I'm going to do the heading log, the vertical speed log. Now, this one is trimmed right now for default. It's there is a default profile. It's every person can adjust the profile and make it more smoother, less smoother. You can change the slope. You can get it for very, very close to his own airplane. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take off and I'm going to do the ground frequency on COM2, and then I'm going to switch here so you can see how realistic it is, and basically it's working in a real airplane. You can switch between radio, switch between NAS and everything. So let's take it off pause. Let's take all of this down. Let's turn on Gen 1, Gen 2, master, fuel pump on, sorry. Avionics is on. Oh, mixture, prop. Left engine on, right engine on. Now tower is 121.80, so we're going to do here 121.80 and flip it. Now we don't have the option because we're transmitting right now on COM1, so we're going to do COM2. Now you can see that the option is up here. We're going to choose the parts to it out. The tower is 118.2, and basically I'm ready. So I'm going to put the 118.2 right here on the GNS, which is COM1. So 118.2, and I'm going to flip it. We'll choose COM1. You're going to see on the screen right now that I can request takeoff. I'm going to do request takeoff. Okay, let's acknowledge that.
Clear for takeoff, runway 1, VTE Bravo Echo.
Okay, we got everything. We have a message. Okay, that's a message. Now you don't feel it, but there is a very small, tiny vibration on the yoke. That's basically simulates you the running on the runway. The very, very small vibration on the yoke. Also, the yoke right now is pushing out. We're gonna take off. Letting it up. Also, I didn't mention the monitor that you're seeing is a curved TV. It's a very, very high resolution TV, and that's basically giving you a very, very realistic. The computer system here is basically two video cards, two very powerful video cards. One of them controls just the outside view, and one of them controls all the other monitors. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the autopilot, and I'm going to do an altitude. Now let's do 6,000 feet. Now look on the yoke. The yoke is adjusted. I'm going to do a very, very deep vertical speed, and the yoke will move based on the vertical speed. I'm going to change the heading. The yoke will adjust based on the heading. Now you can adjust how fast, how slow, how smooth it's going to be. You can adjust all of that. Look at the yoke, it's moving based on the heading. You can adjust all of that. You can make it as close as possible to your real airplane. And all the profile here, I'm playing with the rotor right now, probably we have a small wind. All the profile here, you can change the slope, you can change how deep the yoke will be, how fast it's going from center to left or right. You can play with it really to get it as close as possible to reality. Now you see the yoke is standing. Let's do a very one. I'm just going all around the scale right now. And basically, that's it. It's pretty stiff. Now, basically, the AOM is just a light. And what I did is I put on the audio panel, I also put in a light and a buttons in it. So basically, you can reprogram those for very very common use. For example, I programmed the A to pause. So to minimize the use of the keyboard and the mouse. Let's say you're flying and then you need to do something real quick, instead of going to the keyboard, press pause and all that, you just press in here. You can program these to have the ATC on and off, or any other feature, common feature that you're using. Basically, that's it. That's the simulator. You can see that simulator is becoming with the whole 9 yards and the seat and center console, the TVs and everything. You do have space for another 2 TVs on the video card. It depends on you. The computer will handle it. Basically, that's it. This is the BE55. Hope you enjoyed the video. For any more questions, you can contact me. website and phone number. And thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video.